just wanted to make a quick video talking about the importance of staying sober in mind. I feel on my walk that staying sober in mind is extremely important and has helped me so much. And there's a Bible verse right here that will further explain what I'm talking about. Proverbs 23:29-35. Who has woe, who has sorrow, who has strife, who has complaints, who has needless bruises, who has bloodshot eyes? Those who linger over wine, who go to sample bowls of mixed wine. Do not gaze at wine when it is red, when it sparkles in the cup, when it goes down smoothly. In the end, it bites like a snake and poisons like a viper. Your eyes will see strange sights, and your mind will imagine confusing things. You will be like one sleeping on the high seas, lying on top of the rigging. They hit me, you will say, but I'm not hurt. They beat me, but I don't feel it. When will I wake up so I can find another drink? I feel like this passage that I just read explains things perfectly in the sense of, who has woe, who has sorrow, who has strife, who has complaints. Chances are, I'm sure in your own experiences, when you noticed somebody drank too much or they got drunk and now they're very emotional. They were maybe fine before they started to drink. Now they're complaining about their ex, they're complaining about their boyfriend, they're complaining about their girlfriend. They're, just complaining in general. Who has needless bruises. I mean, that's happened to me before too, for sure. You end up drinking. This is, a while ago. I don't drink anymore. But when I used to drink, you wake up with bruises on your arms and legs. I mean, now I probably wouldn't be able to see them with the tattoos, but you know what I'm trying to say. You'd wake up with bruises and stuff like that. You're banging into things. You don't even know what's going on. You don't even remember what's going on. And like, how many times have you heard somebody say, man, I only did that because I was drunk. It was a stupid drunk decision, and stuff like that. Or you end up hitting somebody up. You end up messaging somebody just because you were drunk. And then you wake up in the morning all regretful, like, oh, why did I just message them? Or, you end up going to somebody's like house or something, or doing something with somebody at a bar or whatever the case is because you were drunk. And you regret it. And you're like, man, why did I do that? I only did that because I was drunk. And stuff like that. In the end, it bites like a snake and poisons like a viper. I mean, it's very true. You know what I'm saying? It makes you do things that you'll regret. It entices aggression and dark side attributes, chaos, wrath, aggression, all stuff that's from the dark side, from the Sith. And it's, it gives you like that false confidence. All these, you hear about bar fights and fights that start. I mean, it's all, most of the time, people who are just very drunk and they don't even care anymore. They're not even thinking about consequences. Once you're drunk, you could throw the thought of any consequence of your actions that you're doing out the window. I mean, there is no shot that you're realistically thinking about consequences of your actions if you're pretty drunk. And it's interesting because we all know this, we all know this. And what I'm saying is nothing new. I'm just reiterating, I guess. They hit me, you will say, but I'm not hurt. They beat me, but I don't feel it. Same thing. You end up getting to a fight and you might even get hit a few times and you're still fighting and you don't even feel anything, or you're doing something that you'll regret. Like you're going to sleep with somebody you don't even want to sleep with. And like in the moment, like, it's not just physical feeling. Like you don't feel like it's an issue in the moment and you're doing it, you're enjoying it. And then you're regretful after once you're sober. You know what I'm trying to say? There's another Bible verse about it too. 1 Peter 5:8-9. Be alert and sober and of sober mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. Resist him, standing firm in the faith, because you know that the family of believers throughout the world is undergoing the same kind of sufferings. Like I said, be alert and of sober mind. When you're drunk, you are not alert. You know what I mean? Your reaction time is popped. You know what I mean? In popped meaning bad. Your reaction time is not there. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. Meaning, if you're drunk, you're easier for the dark side to devour. You're easier for the devil to devour. So if you're not of sober mind, if you're drunk, now the lustful encounter is such an easy thing for him to do. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like he's trying to get over on you when you're sober, but when you're drunk, he's like not even putting an effort in. He's just like, oh, okay, he's drunk. Yeah, just do that. Just send that lustful woman over there. We'll get him. He's good. Don't even worry about it. You know, you just make it easy. You just make it easy for the devil at that point. It is not even a challenge for him anymore at that point. And it's just the way it is, you know. But it says, resist him standing firm in the faith, because, you know, the family of believers throughout the world is undergoing the same kind of sufferings. I mean, it's way harder to resist if you're drunk, you know. And what I always felt like my entire life, it's very interesting. My entire life, I always felt like, I've heard a lot of people say this excuse of, man, but I was drunk. Like, yeah, I did that, but I was drunk. But it's like, you decided to get drunk knowing that you could potentially do that, you know? So I just feel like it's just a bad decision. And no judgment to anybody who drinks. I am not here to judge anybody who drinks. That's just not what I'm here to do. All I'm saying is, if you're on this narrow path, I say this in a lot of videos, these videos are only for people who are on that narrow path, that are trying to change and grow closer to God and be a better version of themselves, so they can be a guiding light. And if you're trying to do that, don't drink, is what I'm trying to say. You know, not for of course, everybody's to each their own. If you feel like you could drink a little bit and control it, then that's totally up to you. Then that's fine. If that's what you genuinely feel, and you genuinely feel like even if you drink just a bit, and you're still you, and you still have all that type of self-control, then more power to you. And I completely respect that. I can't. I know that for a fact. I can't. If I just have a few sips, you know what I mean? I'm just not myself anymore. It's and I hate it. I really hate it. And this goes hand in hand with anything else. So this says to be sober in mind, meaning weed too. You know, weed isn't exactly the best for you either. I mean, it's weed, like the verse says. Where does it say? Hold up. Your eyes will see strange sights, and your mind will imagine confusing things. Same thing happens when you're high. Same thing happens when you take any type of anything, really, anything mind altering. I feel like anything mind altering just changes everything. It makes you like not yourself, obviously, but it makes you, your dopamine, like your base dopamine from abstaining and everything. I'll put this in a different video, but anywho, just stay sober of mind, because if you're on this path, stay sober of mind. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm like rambling at this point, but that's pretty much it. Yeah.